Hi, this is Lesley Findlay for vocaltechnique.ca. In this video we're going to talk about attack, one of my favorite subjects. What is vocal attack? Attack is pure and simply how you start phonation. So it's how you start your vocal cords vibrating. In classical music and in most books on vocal technique, you'll find three attacks discussed. One is glottal attack, the second is aspirated attack, and the last one we call light attack, or more recently people are starting to call it coordinated attack. So we'll start with those three, and then I have another three for you later on. So a glottal attack is something that we use especially in German music, but we also use it in English. If we're starting to sing a phrase that starts with a vowel, we would say I. Do you hear the little bump at the beginning? It's very similar to like a cough. It's when you start your vocal cords vibrating, the cords are closed, you develop a little subglottal pressure, and then the cords start to vibrate with this little bump. And that bump that you're hearing, it's a little spastic, actually, something that happens in the cords between the pressure and the opening, as they want to vibrate cleanly, but because of the pressure they start with that little bump. And we call that attack a glottal attack. So it's something that we need, it's something that we need to master. A glottal attack can be abused and overused. We also hear this in a lot of Broadway singing. Start spreading the news. It's commonly known as a heavy attack. So in classical music we study it to minimize the pressure, minimize the bumping, minimize the pressure going to the chords. Because if you start with a heavy glottal attack, the phrase that you sing after that will also be stressed and heavy, and it's hard on your voice. So what's an aspirated attack? Our second attack is simply, rather than starting with the cords closed and the pressure building up, we start with air coming through. Ha, ha. We call that an aspirated attack because the air is coming through. We use this attack in English, of course, when we start any word that starts with an H. Hotel, how are you? So you just need to make the differentiation between the aspiration and when your vocal cords start to vibrate. So one transitions to the other very cleanly. If you don't understand how to vibrate your cords well, the aspirated attack will bleed into the phrase, like, how are you? And the whole voice, the whole phrase will be breathy. So we want to train the attack so that it's clean, it's there, and that when the cords start to vibrate, they start very cleanly and you don't have any of that breathiness in the tone, unless of course that's the choice artistically that you've made to express that phrase or that word, and you want breathiness in that part of the song. So the third attack I want to talk about is actually called a light attack. If you talk about the glottal attack, we could also refer to that one as a heavy attack. The aspirated, we could refer to that one as a soft attack. Sometimes these words are used, so if you see them, you'll know what they mean. And a coordinated attack is actually referred to in classical music as a light attack. And that's when you have completely mastered starting the vocal cord vibration along with the air, and you get a very clean attack. Ah, ah, ah. There's no glottal or aspiration. Ha, ha, ha. You have a perfect coordination of the air and the vocal cords, and you get this nice, clean, both of them coming together perfectly, and that's what we call a light attack. More recently, this coordinated attack has become popular because in fact it is more descriptive, but the problem with it, it's too much of a mouthful. So we stick with the term light attack. Ah, ah, ah. So those are the three classical attacks that you'll see in most videos. I'm going to actually make a second video to cover the more popular attacks that we hear in pop music.